Hello and welcome to the Bordeaux Ascension. There's a Bordeaux rebuild from the 4th tier to the 1st tier. If you are seeing something a little bit different, firstly, I do have shaders on, which are pretty easy to do. And then I do have a skin, which, if I remember, I will put a link to in the description if you like the look of the skin. But anyway, since our last episode, we have played 5 games. Firstly, against Brest, a 2-2 draw. 2 penalties, 1 for each side, and then the goal scorer from the penalty spot scored. Pretty late drama in this one, 84, 86, 89 and 90 plus 1 to give us a 2-2 draw away from home against Brest. Sorry if I sound a little bit weird in this one, I do have a cold, just recovering, so shouldn't be too bad from this one. A 3-3 draw in this one, a 90 plus 5 own goal from a Nice player, and verge and Rudier getting us a 3-3 draw against OGC Nice. That's pretty not a bad result. I mean, not the best result, but we'll take a draw. Over to Olympique Lyon's Ringer Merveld and Lorenzo getting 2 goals in a home win against Lyon. That one. Over to AS Monaco, one of the stronger teams in the division. Unfortunately, just the strong. You couldn't really fight against Monaco. Verge got a goal, but that pretty early goal was knocked back by 2 goals from Freeman and a late penalty through defeat in that one. And then back to winning ways at home, 3-0. Comfortable win from Paris against Paris. Lorenzo with an outside of the foot, Saiti and Ringer Merveld getting goals. Unfortunately, even though we do have 2 bigger European competition or fighting teams, we do have Lille and Lorient. I think it's Lille and Lorient. I've just had a look and I forgot. But anyway, they are around us in the fight for even Conference League for those European positions, but there is one single issue. One of our best players, one of my favourite players, Jules Rudier, is out for between 7 days and 2 weeks because of an injury he picked up on international duty. So, Isaac Marino does have a bit of a knock, but I think he'll be fine in this one. So, to start this first game, Ramos starts in goal with Lorenzo and Bayo, Tony, Kini at defence, with Marino, Bricu, Barty in midfield, Saït on the left, and Verge up front. Here we are then, away against FC Lorient. If I'm right, this is the team that came up when we came up. So, I mean, we're pretty evenly distributed, to be fair. Only a couple points between us. And it's been pretty close ever since, if it is the right team I'm thinking of, ever since we came up with them. We've kind of grown together with them, which is kind of a good thing. Good thing about the French League is not quite like the Premier League where there's not a massive amount of budget in the French League compared to the Premier League. So we do get a couple teams that can fight against us. And Lorient are one of those teams that are going to fight against us. 8.5 minutes into this first one, they do get a goal through pretty suspect defensively. But I think that just shows how we are in this save. Right then, Lorient on the attack again, and Bamba not really started that well in this one, if I'm honest. I don't know why my voice has just got worse ever since starting this. Still feel great, but my voice has definitely got worse. Saiti down the left, Bamba absolutely takes him down. I'm not even sure if that's inside or outside the box. I think it's probably just on the line. We'll go to VR, is no penalty, so it will be a free kick. Probably deserves a yellow card for that one. It does get a yellow card. And we will get a free kick. Right, Katie on the left. Throwing up to Saiti. Not quite as good as Rudier. Hasn't really been exactly what we needed, but is a good player. Can play on the left and the right. Lorenzo, who did score the last game with an outside of the foot shot, doesn't quite get this one right. Right, Ramos with the ball. 42 minutes in. Lorient definitely been the better team in this one. Barring that, last time it was seen. We've not really seen enough from us so far. Katie, he was on England under-19 duty in the last international break. It's not exactly the best pass. Saiti wins it back though. Saiti to Merveld, shot on the right foot, somehow got into the back of the net. Had a lot of defenders to beat, so the fact that he even got there without getting blocked by somehow is pretty impressive. 43 minutes in, just before half time, we do have that equaliser. Up to 6th in the table now. Lorient, I don't think kits are quite, even though I've got kits downloaded, I don't think, like, because these teams started in the lower leagues that weren't in the natural Football Manager's database, I don't think kits are done yet. So they're like, I mean, first time finish into that exact top corner. Rubbish is a pretty decent keeper, but I don't think even the best keeper in the game would have saved that. Excellent finish by Lorient. Barty in behind. Barty off the post. Doesn't really get anywhere on the rebound. I haven't played this save in a little while. As you can probably hear from my voice, I've been ill. And, I mean, a couple days in advance recording has probably done the channel a little bit of a disservice. But Lorient are now above us in the table, up to 6. It is still another half to go. But if you look at the stats, Lorient are just dominating possession, shots on target, XG, and not exactly what we need. To have 2 chances, both of pretty decent quality from Bordeaux, and they even haven't got a clear-cut chance is a little bit. I mean, is our defence just bad, or are they just 2 very good finishers? Right, last couple of minutes in this one, at 82nd minute, still 2-1. We've got a bit of a stronghold into this game now, but nothing that's really highlight-worthy. Into the back post, Isa Marino, back post header. We don't score from set pieces too much, but we did get one in this one. Isa Marino, one of our centre-back signings from a couple of years ago, the Spanish player, gets us the equaliser. There we are then, full time in this one. We do drop 2 points. We do stay above Lorient. They are just outside the European positions. We're currently 6th in the European positions. Did have a bit of more of a shots on target, still a possession with Lorient, but I guess if you're not going to win, draws on the worst result in the world. SC Lorient 2, Bordeaux 2. Right, if we have a look at the league table between this game, it is Lille next, who are just above us. They have a game in hand on us as well. They have 2 games in hand on Lorient, and we have 1 game in a couple of teams. A couple of us have played 14, a couple of us have played 15, a couple of us have played 16. So not a true reflection of the league so far, but Lille, who are 2 points ahead of us with a game in hand. And if we're going to fight for European positions, we've kind of got to get wins over these teams, not really draws. Right, a little bit of selection issues at the moment. A lot of my subs are now playing for the second team, which isn't too great as we don't exactly have a lot of options. Just LaSalle and Amo fit enough for the bench. Katie is now suspended as he's picked up too many yellow cards, so Chateau replaces him at left back. Should probably put him on full back, really. He's really a centre back. But except for that, it's pretty much the same team. Right, just look at the little team before we get into the game. Georgi Petrovic, Chelsea man. And a couple of players on the bench. Brian Maggio is a player I've been looking at recently. Ethan Mbappe, I think he's brother of Kylian Mbappe. And then Tyrell Malacia, formerly of Manchester United. Just look at my bench compared to theirs. It's quite insane. They've got Lavia. Really? I mean, it doesn't really play at Chelsea, but that's a little bit strange. Right then, here we are then. At home against Lille. Didn't really have the best game in the last one. Second half performance was a little bit better, but still not exactly great. Lille, just as Lorient did it in the first game, starting off the better team. I mean, we're not really supposed to be even in the European positions, but I think while we're up here, we don't exactly want to throw it away. I mean, Sorry gets past Lorenzo pretty easily on that one. Inside him, and decent save by Ramos cuts out some very suspect defending. Lorenzo on the right. Forward to Abate. Maybe showed it's a bit stronger, that he's better a little bit better going forward. Barty goes down. Referee doesn't really see anything wrong with it. Sarawi to Kilsoy to Sek. Pretty good football from Lille. Cadera on the right side. Shot. Pretty tame on that one. Just cuts across it and instead of going out pretty tamely for a goal kick. Right. Counter attack. Move out. Picks it up though. Move out left to Chateau. Chateau, not really a fullback really. It's a little bit filling in. We're definitely a little weaker with Kearney out and then Rudier out for another week. Should be back for the next game though. Lorenzo. Past Sarawi. A little bit suspect defending from him. Shot. I think Petrovic had a little touch on that. Goes out for a corner. 11 minutes in. We've had more action in this one than we did in the whole of the last game. Right, we're on the ball. Roland to Roman. I mean, two players very similar to each other, in names at least. Sek. Maybe we need to drop Riku down to defensive midfield. Vanderson down the right. Vanderson and Hector forward. Probably decent wingers for them. Defensively put into the box and defend the first one pretty well, but rebound. Osunu Sek gets the rebound for Lille. 26 minutes in, we concede the first goal again. Deep free kick. Looks a little bit strange. I'm not sure why Tony's off the pitch. One of their players is now coupled on the pitch. A little bit of a weird highlight. Alright. Goes to the Ethan Mbappe. I mean, I'm not sure how illegal that is. Vanderson shot off the crossbar. Rebound. Out to run edge of the box. Mbappe cross shot. I mean, I'm not sure that was entirely legal. Was that a substitute and then just passed to him straight away? I think that was a little bit of a cheat code. 75 minutes on the clock. But it's pretty much the story from last game. The first half was pretty high eventful, and the second half has just not been great. Marino loses the ball. Sek. Everything's subverting down around the side. Let's see if we're going to have some better defending this time. Goes back to Malasia, substitute. Roman. Verdon. Shot from distance. I mean, it didn't seem the most power on it, but almost takes no chances. Puts out for a corner. Last couple of minutes in this one. Briku to Marino. Looks like we've got two big games without one of our big players. I mean, we've looked a bit toothless. We've not exactly created loads of chances, but we just don't look like scoring, really. We might score in the last couple of minutes and just completely have a curse of the commentator. Lorenzo shot. Keeper decent save on this one. It seems to be just that little bit of cutting edge, which, I mean, we are overperforming this season to be in the European positions, but these last two games against teams a little bit higher in the league, we just haven't done that well. Dropped to 7th in the table, 23 points, still in touch and distance of the European places, but looks like those teams in the European places just have that little bit of quality, which I guess when you're in League One and have a little bit more budget from being in Europe, you're going to have that little bit of quality, and that little bit of quality just gave them a little bit of quality to win this game. But anyway, that was the end of today's episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.